COVID-19 has also turned the world upside down. Amid all this, businesses are trying to answer the question, what will my customers want next? Large organizations are increasingly turning to entrepreneurship or corporate entrepreneurship. This means tapping into your most entrepreneurial employees and developing them into top innovators. Design is a term that can be applied in many contexts. In this webinar, we will understand a little about the applicability of design as a process which aims to understand people and their context of use to create or improve business models. Any idea can turn into a good business. In the webinar, we will take a few steps back to better understand the context of the problem and the people involved. Today's reality demands innovation and empathy for the customer from businesses. Customers are not only looking for the best service, but also the best experience. Designing addresses all pressing concerns and questions and divides insurmountable tasks into smaller, doable tasks. Designing breaks your preconceptions of what a good solution would be and unleashing new undiscovered possibilities, leading you to a more desirable and human solution. In this webinar, you will learn design as a process through use cases with real projects, co-creating the user experience as well as business sustainability. Today, we have in our midst Mr. G. Sathiyaseelan, a respected professional and a social visionary. What makes him an apt choice for this audience is that he too is an alumnus of Annamalai University and he belongs to the 1990 batch Electrical and Electronics Department. I have the pleasant duty of welcoming and introducing him today at Designing Success, Overcoming New Age Challenges, an interactive business networking session. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. G. Sathiyaseelan, and we feel profoundly honored that you have taken time off on a Sunday morning to address us. Mr. Sathiyaseelan has done his BE Electrical and Electronics Engineering from Annamalai University and a Master's in Industrial Design from IIT Delhi. Has shouldered 25 plus vehicle designs, including cars, trucks, buses, tractors, three-wheelers, and two-wheelers in various positions and responsibilities for domestic and global OEMs. He is a Vice President, Design Styling, Ashok Leyland Technical Center, leading and guiding a bunch of creative professionals involved in every aspect of HCV, LCV, bus and RV vehicles, exterior and interior design projects. He is also a motivating speaker, writer, mentor, advisor, and board member in various design workshops, magazines, and prestigious design schools like IITs and National Institute of Design. Prior to this, he has served in various organizations which include Ashok Leyland, Tata, Elixir, TVS Motors, General Motors, Technical Center, India, Tata Motors, Pune, Adekala Mata College, Vallam. His expertise is automobile design, product design, graphic design, project management, watercolor painting, and digital portraits. He has a passion for watercolor and an artist inspired by Mother Nature and exploring leaves and flowers frequently, exhibiting solo group and annual exhibitions. He has many award-winning products and commercially successful products in his portfolio. He has followers for his astounding audience across the country for watercolor paintings of flowers and leaves. Naam Pidikka Vendiya Kadesi Bus is the first of its kind. Sequel went up to 42 months in Motor Vikatan, the only Tamil automobile magazine which turned many heads towards design. He is also founder and mentor of IR Design Academy to conduct workshops and courses on car design, product design, and digital design, which benefited thousands of young students to get in design. With a personality like Mr. Sathiyaseelan, you can go on and on eulogizing, but let me stop here and let the audience have the privilege of listening to you, Sathiyaseelan. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Sathiyaseelan.
Thank you. Thank you for the elaborated introduction. I think it's like coming back to anything with Annamalai University is delightful. Thank you so much for the opportunity once again, because if you are asking me to come again for the second time, there could be two views in it. One, இந்த தட்டியார் ஒழுங்கா பேசு அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். Otherwise, I could have done better job in the previous talk also. So, I think This is going to be a lot of visuals. I'm a designer. It's very difficult for me to talk without visuals. Who am I? This presentation have three aspects. One is my own opinions, like my design is outcome of my opinion, my experience, everyday life in the past, and present, and future. And what reflects in my work, that is what the second part. The third part, the way forward for the overall. So as an Indian designer, I focus more, and this presentation covers more on the perspective of Indian scenario, Indian business scenario, particularly automobile and the environment and things like that. And I'm going places, talking everywhere. It's because I see everything, the technology, life sciences, literature, principles, everything through visual art only. So I wanted myself to be known as an artist, particularly. So that's how I get into design. And when it comes to design, I was specialized in transportation design, but I don't call myself categorically a transportation designer, because design is overall. I can design anything, including, graphic design, home design, interior, things like that. My gratitude to the great man, Annamalai Chettiar, particularly the place where I'm coming from is benefited mostly out of this person from Karaikudi, built a fantastic university in Chidambaram. So therefore, people like me have benefited, and so rich in architecture, visually inspiring campus. Probably the designer in me has awakened through Annamalai University only. Though I am an electrical engineer, I switched into transportation designer. That's happened here. This is IIT Delhi's, the building. So the moment when you go there, this architecture was very different. As curious I was, this is called brutalism, which is designed, or the architect is J.K. Chowdhury. And in my design school, there were three important personalities who influenced my design life every day, namely Chaku, Sam, and Dos. Dos is basically the rightmost hippie. He is a rich history, design background, foundation. And Sam in the center, Saumutri Varadarajan. Right now, he's in Australia. He's a critic. He never satisfies. Even today, he always, one of the best critics ever. So therefore, he raises the bar every time. And finally, Chaku is totally positive. He appreciates. So I am in collective of this with the help of my experience. I have done several vehicles, so many vehicles, cars, trucks, buses. And when I'm talking about design, I'm going to deal all the visible things. And if you ask me, is it only sketching and drawing? No. Sketching and drawing without understanding the technology is going to be useless, because at the end of the day, you have to manufacture. So I am little odd, and I'm from a very handful of people in India. Maybe this is practiced more than 25 years in India. It's very less. So there's a need for design propaganda across the country. That's the reason why I go to places to talk about design. And how about my products? My products, a lot of award-winning products, very commercial, very successful, at the same time, user-friendly and things like that. We can have one more session on a particular product. But thing is, these products brought me up to have an opportunity to cover in a prestigious design magazine, Design India, so last year. So this is what I am, for those who do not know me. But let us go into what I'm talking about design, why this country have to be focused on design, and what if we focus, or if not focus, will happen to the future of this country. So you all know co-founder of Apple, Steve Wozniak, once when he was in India, he told Indians are not creative. In sense, there is no destructive companies like Google, Facebook kind of thing can happen in India. So we are always clerks, technical clerks. That's the reason why we consume products from elsewhere, from east, west, northwest, north, south. We consume products, we consume materials, we consume softwares that we are using everyday life, including Android phones and things like that. And information, what's happening in technology, what is, the future, this kind of information also we consume from outside. And the ideas, it can be business ideas, fashion ideas, design ideas, storytelling, entertainment, everywhere. The ideas are consumed from outside. Why? There are two questions. What is wrong in it? Because so far we are consuming, we are outsourcing, and we are all right because the GDP is going on. We are, doing well. The infrastructures are improving. And what's wrong in it? In my opinion, there's a need for change. The change, of course, of running the business, developing the nation, in education, in politics, everywhere, there is a need for change. One can ask, you really have to change yourself? No. The change prevails. Whether you like it or not, change occurs. You can't stop. I'll prove you how. This is how 100 years ago in Chennai, the most premium, luxurious women were posing to a camera. If you can watch closely, they are with their best attire, the jewelries, to the extent of covering their noses and things like that. You can see the center tall lady have a, what do you call, the nose covering jewelry. I don't know the name in travel, but that was luxury. That was the past. Exactly 100 years later, and this is luxury. Whether you like it or not, whether you control it or not, the change is going to happen. You can't have it. And changes are unstoppable and unpredictable. I have never imagined in my life once the godmen will wear masks to protect themselves. Not only the godmen, God himself is protected thanks to COVID. And it changes the entire lifestyle without giving any prior information. And other way, let us take a product called camera. 1814 it started, and it's all continuously improving. At one point of time during 2005 to 2018, the camera became phone. Our phone became camera. The phone started picking pics. Now today, the most effective camera is this. So what is need for change, which I'm talking about? I'm talking about need for mindset. Kind of mindset and how it is benefited. The mindset is to change the culture into inventive culture. We are trained, we are educated, we are approaching technology and every damn thing in everyday life in an adaptive culture. Instead, we need to go for an inventive culture mindset. And there's a big opportunity for a business. To prove my argument, I'll take one example, which is the consumer electronics, particularly TV. So the market size of TV in 2020 in India was 1.2 trillion Indian rupees. You're all business leaders, million, billion, and trillion. And in India, we have 210 plus million household. And this is a research taken from the Tanushree Basuroy index of 2022, sorry, now instead of that. What I mean to say, this 1.2 trillion Indian rupees business is totally a very huge amount of potential it has. By the end of the day, what is the market share of India? What do you think about it? It's almost zero. You can tell me video call, Onida kind of people, but they buy material from Taiwan, China, and assemble it and rebrand it and sell it. Do you really think it's a business model? And why it happened? Country like India, I can understand if it is Sri Lanka, I can understand if it is Singapore, because the Singapore is what, just a city. But Kashmir to Kanyakumari, 1,000 kilometers together. In Tamil Nadu alone, we have 500 plus engineering colleges. Almost every engineering college have an electronics and instrumentation or whatnot. But today, we are not able to make an LED TV. Now, when I am talking about the business model is to cracking down LED, it's not. It's too late. It could have done 20 years ago. But the invention, the culturally invention is very important to transform not only the country, the entire world. I'll tell you, take an example. Invention is always better than imitation. What we do is kind of mimicry. So to have an invention in first place, we need to design. The design is the only solution. It's not me. Many of those developed countries, recently developed and already developed countries, taken design much more serious. India is yet to do that. We are so biased with technology and science. In fact, science and art are two different dots, which is not connected at all. What do we think about artist? Artist is a time pass guy. I mean, when you do artist, when you do art, whenever you find time to kill, and if you're a housewife, do nothing sitting around, so do painting, go to painting classes. That's how we see it. But actually, artistic talent only discovered many scientific inventions. I can talk about, many of them in a different presentation, right from, Celia Cal or the person Samuel Morse. The Morse code is coming out of Samuel Morse. Is an artist. Maria Sibilla Mariam, and then I can say. So what I mean to say, the science and art and science and creativity are inextricably entwined. That means, what do you say? It's like a vineyard, so the end point. How it entwined? How it went? Inextricably. It cannot be taken out. But in India, the art and science is not talking together. So let us take who has done it. Let's take Korea and Samsung. There is a research paper which is published in Harvard Business Review. The name of the paper is How Samsung Become Design Superpower. Let's have the story. In 1994, the CEO of Samsung, Mr. Koo, decided, making 100 parts. But by then, they were actually mimicking all the products from China, from Japan. What Sony does? They reproduce it, copy it, and make it cost effective, and then make it million parts. They thought 1,000 to 1,000, 1,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to 1 million. This is what the business model successfully that was, taken care by Koreans that time. But in 1994, someone, came to his desk and said that, boss, you have to design, you have to invent. If you have to develop a USB, otherwise this model will take away by someone else who is making 100, 101 more than you. So, and the mission of Samsung that time, the WHO was posing is #1 in consumer electronics by 2020. When it was 1994, almost 30 years ago. So the aim was to become #1 in 2020. He started designing. There is a paper you can read. So the first thing he has done is he has taken a design school within the premises of Samsung, which is called Samsung Art and Design Institute, SADI. And he compelled everybody to undergo the design course. Even if you are in senior VP, you have to go, in your leisure time or whatever they have managed. But in a nutshell, what after the design course, after the inventive course, uh, previously the Mr. Hu, the CEO of Samsung, had two options. One, buy designers from London or from America, or develop designers of Korea, their own designers. He opted for the second one. So he pulled out all the retired people from RCA, Art Center Pasadena, College of Creative Studies, the biggest design schools. Retired professors are brought out to Korea and then started that school, and they became teaching not only the students, the professionals, even the senior professionals. And then they started inventing new product, developing their own USP. You all know this phone, which is called, Ben's phone. Otherwise, SGH E700 is kept in the museum. What is special about it? This was the first one which doesn't have an antenna. And that even the receiver of the electromagnetic signal is kept inside a plastic, which is painted plastic. And it is foldable. Keep it in your package. So this is the world's first dual folder camera phone. There's a camera here with a built-in antenna, with inside built-in antenna. The display is coming across the hinge. The whole world was looking at it as a new, inventive, because it went into the user's practice. In Korea, people will take a note. If boss says something, write something, fold it and keep it in the package. This phone was like this. At the same time, their contemplates like, Nokia and BlackBerry, they were trying to reproduce the computer keyboard. They were doing like, bringing the laptop into the phone. But of course, this was very successful, completely inventive. And there are continuously, they were designing, inventing things like that. Today, the Flip, Galaxy, Acer Flip 5G or whatever. So the few invention made them to become number one in 2014 itself, 6 years prior to the aim. Now, what I mean to say is, there's a lot of Galaxy innovations, including the, displays, payment systems, and things like that. So now the Samsung is number one because they started designing. On the contrary, you all know the company called Solitaire. This TV was Indian made, and you have to sit closer. And, once in a while, there will be some program. Otherwise, you can lock and close it. It's huge CRT. So therefore, you can keep your flower vases and, photographs on top of this. We thought this will not change. This is more comfortable. That's the culmination of technological extravaganza. But it's proved wrong. Today, 1.2 trillion Indian rupees, Indian market share, actual design market share is zero. So you agree now? There should be a mindset change for mindset that, the new, accommodating the new things and advantages. By the time if you are trying to crack LED, these guys are coming up with micro LED, which is like a printout or a vinyl poster. So in CES last year, they were presenting this. So they are continuously doing it, right? And second thing in India, we are advanced researcher. My own brother is a well-renowned international researcher. He works in the NIT Trichy. So he publishes paper after paper like that. But how about this? These are the 3 Nobel Prize winners in physics in 2014, namely Isamu Akaseki. The name is not matter, but that is, they cracked the blue LED. The problem with LED is the wavelength is not much high, right? So used to have LED, we deal with LED every time, like 30, 40 years, but the wavelength of the light is very less. So therefore, we are using in small displays, in agarbattis and laptops and here and there. But these guys discovered, long wavelength blue LEDs. And 2016, that has become product. Imagine for a car headlamp, it has to throw certain amount of lux value on road, low beam, high beam, and consistent power without any scattering. This blue LED doesn't scatter. It goes like this. And this is all, it happens in Sweden. The research in Japan easily adapted, and within 2 years, it has become a product, right? Now, what I mean to say is why we are keeping design as an alien, or why we are outsourcing design, why we are looking for solutions which is practiced elsewhere, which I feel which is inappropriate, right? The design is going to give us our own solutions. In 2020 onwards, after post-pandemic, the personification and personal experience, experience and user interface are going to be in the driver's seat of any business model. The design is going to take the driver's seat because the personification, the ecological shift, and the problem-solving abilities are going to be customized. For example, some solutions irrelevant to the problems of every day in India, like the problems are why it is relevant, because the problems are highly ecological. The practices of that particular socio-economic culture values. To take an example, this is a photograph I have taken from Chennai airport. You might have experienced this in elsewhere, in American, Frankfurt airport and everywhere. It's a well-known product, but it's a chiller. You have to press this button and take your mouth closer. That dispenses your water, cold water, you drink it. But taking the vessel very closer or touching your mouth is considered to be unhygienic in India, because ecologically we drink water like this. So people from here, officers from here went elsewhere, and then how the water is dispensed in the airport, and then bought that company or procure this technology product and everything from there, and then adapt it, and then spend a lot of money. By the end of the day, it's not being used properly, because since it is unhygienic to take your mouth closer to that vessel, people have taken a use and throw cup. Fill water, drink like this. And Indians are very helping mind. They are keeping it for the person who comes next without the cup, right? Now, what way it is different from the earlier ways that in railway stations, schools, and colleges, we have a container, ever silver container, and tumbler is entwined with that. You think, and then you keep it there. What difference it makes? At the end of the day, you spend so huge amount of money to adapt it. It looks like, eating paraya kanji with chopsticks, because Chinese eat even one small piece of rice in it. But how will I eat my dish? So we adapt forcefully instead of inventing. Because if you have an unmet need, for example, so we are in India making scooters for more than 70 years now, right? But is this scooter is made for women like this? How my mother will sit in it? Vehicle is moving in this direction. I am sitting here, 90-degree opposite to the movement. And if any small break, even 2 weeks ago, in Chennai, Madurai, ejection from the upholstery, because I'm wearing a sari, sometimes silk, which is slippery. And the leather upholstery is also slippery. A small break, which is not on the direction of where you are sitting, will eject you. The vehicle, the heavy truck which is coming behind, the blame to the driver, mostly the truck driver goes in. So, crush. So what I mean to say here is, are we empathizing? Is it user experience is right? Or if my mom want to go in a bike, what should I do? Should I buy a pair of Levi's trousers to her, which she never wore in her lifetime? So we are forcing. But at the same time, why should we do it? Like this kind of unmet needs are huge business opportunities. Probably, I assume some of us will develop a scooter, maybe electric scooter, with having provisions for somebody to sit with a lungi, banyan, and a dhoti, or my fellow ministers and chief ministers can sit. My mom, chudidar guy, and you look at the market, Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand. I mean, all the Southeast, so it's a huge market is there. What I mean to say, unmet needs are the business opportunities. What are we doing on the other way around? The topics in India nowadays is they're all hyperlooping, driverless autonomous cars, flying cars, platooning trucks. Fantastic, man. Where are we going to drive them? Here. This photograph is taken in one of the capitals of Indian state in 2022 monsoon time. Due credit to the Times of India. So you see this kind of potholes, and in that city there will be a handful of Rolls Royce and Bentleys, whatnot. You have Maybachs, 5-10 crores cars. Who knows? In Chennai alone, we have Lamborghinis and Ferraris. Do you think it's only 3 potholes? I'm sorry, take a drone, slightly go up. You can see an array of. Believe me, this is not touched up or CG'd. It's a reality. And that's not 100 years ago. It's just last year, 2022, June, July of that kind of monsoon. And don't you look contradiction? And do we have, this is just opposite to my home, which is called the India Bull Software Park, which is no less than any of this American infrastructure. But very next to this campus, just out of it, it is here. Now, how do you digest this? My argument is it's because we don't design. When the infrastructure happens, we don't know what to do. Luxury without order. The sustainability, the modern, the infrastructure, the urbanization should have gradually every touch point. Why are we one particular space is extraordinarily brilliant, but the other one is, so decisive. So luxury without any order. Sensual enjoyment without art. The art says the arrangement of colors and nice and things that you have money. I can buy, my bedroom full of Burma teak, but without art, how it is going to look? The riches without refinement. I buy Mercedes-Benz, but when the roads are too bad, it can. So we display our, gratitude, whatever it's, without any dignity. I mean, what I mean to say, we need to have an ecological shift to understand, solve the problems, because the software company is abducted just from New York and put it in the Chennai without, without understanding the ecological values of it. All right. So these are the words which I say: display without dignity, riches without refinement, sensual enjoyment without art, and luxury without order. These are the comments made by one of the London bureaucrat in Johannesburg in 1901, 130 years ago, when they see the Johannesburg, which was a gold mine around, in South Africa. That was a comment by a bureaucrat. And very soon, in 1910, when Gandhi was around, they have stormwater, drainage, the pavements are laid with wooden stones and things like that. Okay, I don't want to get into it. But the thing is, one side is growing to 10 feet in a paddy field. The other side, which is not even grown 1 millimeter, this is not growth. The growth has to be consistent. For that, you have to design your own. So like the ecological shift in design is very important. How to do that? Now, I take an example. This is a country in Africa. I don't know how many of you are familiar with, but when I heard this story, I never knew the name of the country ever exists. And this is the school. A boy from one of the boys who's studying in this kind of environment. It's a Africa, hot country. You have a concrete and sheet metal and steel bars. It multiplies the heat. This is the work condition, the environmental condition of a school. It's operated by government. A boy from here went to Europe to study architecture, particularly Germany. And he returned back and see these concrete buildings, which he thought it's highly irrelevant. For those who is looking at in a laptop, you can see the scraps are dumped in everywhere. Nobody's living here because in the hot summer, it's exorbitantly heated. It looks like an oven. So no one lives here. But the government built their concrete buildings. It's no use for the people. They dump the scrap in it. But the architect who went to Germany, returned back, he wanted to do something like that. So he provided this. This is a school which he built. No cement, no concrete, local materials, and colored clay. The clay is a little bit colored with, yellow, orange, things like that. Very clean. The craftsmanship is topmost, like European. He continuously doing it. So there's no need for AC because it's layered. The sheet metal arrests the heat, and you have inside the bricks are arrayed. No cement involved. Look at the floor. And further, he introduces new material. The craftsmanship improved. This is for a government project. It's very frugal to the maximum level one can do it. And he studied the architecture from Germany and went into the cultures of the people. And then we brought a solution. And the floor itself is no granite, nothing. It's all clay. A small, before that, the name of the country is Burkina Faso, right? The capital of that country is Gandu. So the gentleman's name is Francis Carré. He got several awards. The first one who got the Pulitzer Award from Africa. Even look at the windows, you can look at the details of it. It's there in the internet. But I'm running a small video.
And the women come in this position, beating.
Women beating the floor. He is talking about the floor making.
Music, you can see it. Music.
There is somebody playing a drum to the beat. People beat it on the ground.
We don't use knife. It is stronger than Matthew is stronger than others. Connect to you. Differently strong. Beat. Everybody is beating on this. We're different and strong. Music. Certain moment. But beats become the same. So that happened. Through these techniques, become very friendly. Pollution can make it. Like you can see. This is the result. You can remember. It is Photoshop. It is reality.
So whenever I see that, whenever I have given an opportunity in Ashok Leyland, there were two questions. What should I do? Whether should I mimic the Scanias and Volvos, which was the super management asked me for. That's the reason why they brought me from car design. And that by then I was in Nissan, Hanatsuki, Japan, deputed from Tata Elxsi. So there is experience of making European cars and Japanese cars. Why Ashok Leyland brought me down to Chennai to do is to make fully fledged, people like that, Volvo and things like that. But what I wanted to say is I developed a DNA, culturally inventive. I changed the mindset of the people. I have taken ecological consideration in it. And I really want to focus. I'm doing it to see the unmet needs of these drivers. Probably an elaborated presentation can go, and a small video, which is of 1 minute, where there were 36 different platforms I've made in one, which is called modular. Of course, it's not only me. There's a big team of engineers, marketing, customer survey people, and everybody together. We try to make one module which is accommodating LH, RH, different kind of engines, drivetrains, axles, fuel tanks, and everything. So what you see here is 3 different engines can be accommodated in the same bracket. In the long memory, you can see a lot of mounting holes for various different kind of configurations. LHRH, what you see here. All right, so I'm little skipping. So all the cabins can go inside. I'm going to show you the visual. You will not lose anything. But the thing is, different axle, 8x6, 8x1, and so much of combinations have been reduced in one width to accommodate different cabins. That's called the modular strategy. It is a 10-year struggle. The result is you have a design philosophy. Almost every range of the vehicle have the same kind of like Audi, Mercedes-Benz, and Volvos. Even in 1 kilometer's distance, one can see this is avatar platform of Ashok Leyland. The buses are with a smiling face. Again, buses little challenge because the number of seats and number of the classes and platforms are different. You have sleeper, you have coaches, you have town buses, low floor. But when it comes for trucks, I'm really happy because I have convinced people to change their mindset to come up with one brick, because Ashok Leyland is a British company, more than 75 years now, and they have different platforms at different point of time which have different dimensions. Now we have reduced in one width and modular across different cabins, different engines, different purposes, different knowledge and all. Why should we do that? How it is ecologically shifting. I don't know how much technically you can understand, but I'll make it simple. I'll try to make it simple as possible. In a truck, if you have a bonnet open, in a car, if you open a bonnet, you access your engine. But here in the European model, we have, the bonnet open, and you have an inner panel. You can see a black color parts and mountings everywhere and hydraulic hinge, all that, not to access engine, to fill that fuel, steering, power steering, and, brake oil. So it's called that oil. To fill that oil. To do that, why should you do such a, great extravagancy, hood to open? It is huge investment. If you ask me how to access engine, it's a mid-engine. It's here. You can have a tilt cab. The cab is tilted, and you have it here. And that's a taboo. It's an European taboo. What I did is the entire front is welded. To fill that fuel, you have a black part which is written Ashok Leyland here. You can open it and fill it. You save huge amount of money. You save huge amount of money. And something called FES. What is FES? This is what
advertisement can you ask people to mute?
Please,
there is a crosstalk going on.
Request to the rest of the people until I finish my presentation. Please keep it in mute, please. Anyway, I'll continue.
Excuse me, somebody, there is a crosstalk. Please mute all.
Shanta Kumar. Yeah, thank you. Right. So the FES is front end structure. So this is what the FES which we used to supply. What will happen is once I sell this, people take it to Namakkal and change it to Exim. And they throw the front. They throw the front completely because it is very rudimentary strike lines. But at the same time, it is tested, regulated for so much of crash tests, regulated by ARI. Even then, regardless of whatever safety that has been considered, these guys have a habit of throwing it out the design. It's very flimsy. It's Namakkal. You can go, it's like a, arts and crafts people, small handicraft people, So you have a grill, headlamp and things like that. They like the twin headlamp, much higher place. So it actually throw a lot of light on the opponent guys. If you are driving in a car opposite to this, your eyes will be killed. So this is the situation. So in that kind of stuff, if you design well, like this, the premium tooling, if you have a modular strategy, you can give this. the headlamps are much lower, so therefore it focuses on the road. The whole front is welded, doesn't matter, but at the same time, which is looking good. But normally the marketing, including the biggies of the company, says that Satya, you are doing waste of time because they are going to throw it and then do a unsafe, flimsy frontal elements. I said, boss, if you design well, they will take it. So let's see for the first 100 vehicle, if they take it nice, then we'll continue. Otherwise, we'll withdraw. That was the decision which was taken. What is in your opinion? It could have taken by the people, used it, or they will throw it. Obviously, they started enjoying it all across the country, right? So they paint it in, kaleidoscopically different ways, which I didn't even imagine. So look at this. This is from Maharashtra, and this is from NL. So many countries. So many states, and a patriotic Indian have painted Ashok Leyland in three-run. Tricolor, whatever. Right. Anyway, so this is the recent successful stuff. The company started actually admiring the work which we have done as a team, particularly the design team. And when it comes for Auto Expo 2023, they have given complete creative freedom to me. It's all new technologies that we are doing this time. I'll go a little faster. So we have done a Bada Dost Express, and we have done a new generation truck which is having hydrogen fuel. And these are the concept sketches that we have presented, and this is the end results. The whole media, competitors, people from Europe and everyone is astonishingly looking for that, which is well designed. There is a DNA, aapki jeet, hamari jeet, koi manzil dur nahi. And you have an LED, which has been completely done in-house. I'll tell you, Tata Motors have a European studio. We have done a 13.5 sleeper bus. It's complete 13.5 meter sleeper. The interior proposals, we have done a part for switch. And I'm happily, proudly tell you this double decker, what we are doing for switch, which is an European model, European company, which is owned by Hindujas. The design which we designed in Chennai is going to run in Europe, particularly in London. That's a double decker bus that we have recently launched, Nitin Gadkari, and you can see in YouTube, a lot of literature are there. What I mean to say is, Mahindra have their European counterpart, Pininfarina in Italy and Torino. And they have a London studio also with the Pratap Bose right now. And JLR, after Tata Motors, bought JLR, Jaguar Land Rover. So all the design is done in there. Suzuki is done in Japan. And everybody have their counterpart. In Ashok Leyland is totally Indian designers. I don't take any consultation or instructions or know-how from any European, because I have proved that my super management, all these points which I was saying, the change in mindset, because some of the people some time ago before I joined, typical Indian OEMs of automobile think that white skin only do better job in terms of design, particularly what I know as far as I concern. So now we have changed it, and successfully. That took me 15 years. That's the reason, the biggest challenge, because understanding design is very tough in this country. And I'm so happy in 2023 Auto Expo, we have launched
the power to inspire us to a future we believe in and ignite the whole for a better tomorrow. That is Ashok Leyland. Our dream of a better planet powers our quest for a sustainable future. It fuels our efforts to harness the power of innovation. We are putting this vision into motion with alternative fuel technologies that give us the leading edge on the path towards achieving net zero. With our hydrogen-powered fuel cell electric vehicles,
sorry for the
we are
resolution, I
driving
kept it
towards a
low
world free
to
of
present it
pollution
in laptop.
through zero tailpipe emissions. Our hydrogen internal combustion engine vehicles are rejuvenating the planet by bringing the benefits of green hydrogen through minimal changes to conventional engines. Our natural gas-based automotive solutions offer greater energy security and lower emissions, which finds testimony in the longest range delivered by our heavy-duty, long-haul LNG truck. And our battery electric vehicles, while being eco-friendly, successfully deliver the maximum efficiency. With our environmentally friendly solutions, we are bringing the dream of a greener and sustainable tomorrow closer to reality. Dreams.
So thank you. So this is totally in-house, and then that's complete creative freedom and a fantastic teamwork with every stakeholders, like from project planning, marketing, and part supplier, many of them. And yeah, so I'm happily walking around my office with a proud Indian designer, and I have a fantastic, effective team. And you can see it in what YouTube, and a lot of things are coming in. Particularly the interior of this, you can't see any bolt visible or any sharp corner. Every damn thing is done in an affordable cost. At the same time, it's not a so big rocket science, right? So the product, how costly it is, that's not matter, but how you add value to the product. That is what is the creative design is, the brilliant design is, right? So, and also you have to empathize. In this country, the word empathy is much lesser, because we always believe somebody else will solve our own problems. And the craftsmanship, dare to come up with destructive new ideas, which is run over by the fear of failure. We always find faults with those young guys. Please encourage young people. The electronics. I just want to show you a couple of mind blowing. Instead of you have a bowl, you should take your bowl, the blade is movement, and then you do it, right? You can understand. Instead of 4 or 5 tools, this tool will solve at least so many spanners can be reduced. No stitch marks. So the designers, young people, come up with a huge amount of ideas which can end up with a great product. I don't know how many of you know this juicer done by Philip Starr, and which is like an artistic endeavor, but it's functionally 100% perfect. And the technology is there, the wire is there, the cutting tool is there, but how comfortable for your hand? Do it for the user, for Indian hand, to the effective use, for their fatigue, for their health benefits. Are we really doing for the right? And when you talk about design, this is just a snapshot of my YouTube. Whenever say the sketching workshop, there are hundreds of sites coming here. It says your sketch is popping, but in India, I am struggling. Very few design schools today in India. You have National Institute that's running for 30, 40 years, but there's no big effect. And IITs and a couple of new players. But outside India, there is plenty. United States, Sweden, Italy, UK, Germany, Singapore. Nowadays, Singapore started to making a lot of designs, like LaSalle, a private school, is doing a great thing. So to imbibe by the inventive culture, ecological change, and changing in mindset, I myself started a design academy called AYA Design Academy, and which I informed the super management to say that because I'm going to train the students for the future of India, nevertheless, they will join Ashok Leyland, but elsewhere, but the country will benefit, right? So this AYA Academy is initiated in 2016. We have running a lot of, sketching, drawing, giving an entry-level diploma in car design, product design, automotive, digital design. I go across the country, particularly partnering with Motor Vigdan and Ananda Vigdan to go for, workshops. I really struggled, I spent a lot of money. I occurred losses in the initial stages, of course, even today. But the thing is, I'm alone. I'm shouting. I'm getting about like getting noticed by the school children is what my primary concern now. So I'm running workshops. I'm demonstrating, and I'm going to places, but still it's a struggle to convince somebody, parents or somebody. If you say IIT, everyone will come. But there's a need, but the need is not being realized by this country. I don't know why, but it prevents over, hundreds of years, but we will be surpassed by anybody like, Korea, tomorrow, Taiwan, look at the Logitech and things like that. I went into the extreme of taking all the professional clay models into the students, where the students are enjoying. Those who attended the workshop, those who are with me for a couple of days, they said that's a lifetime, you know, enjoyment. They've never seen like, fantastic feedback. But getting into design has become really troublesome to me today. And of course, my aim is to, I'm talking about this empathy and all. The results, I'm talking for 6 years. There is a student of design who did an internship with the TVS, have come up with a new concept called Versity, where the women, the lungi mamas can sit comfortably. It's an electric scooter. And the 5, 6 years or 7, 8 years of design talk and design propaganda culminated as one design concept. If someone is willing, one of you willing to invest something like that, there are a lot of designers and the market is tremendous, and not only in India and all Southeast. So far I have run a lot of schools. Like I have a superstars in my student. For particularly this Sharon Ramalingam from Virudhunagar has won the sports car competition, global sports car competition of MG. Right? He went and worked in their London studio, and he is in London today, and he is an Academy student. And this IED, this guy is in Italy. This just after +2, these guys are rocking Indian students. This guy work in a big company. IAD is working with a Rapti, which is a software company. The Coventry return designer, who is my student, is working with Ola, I think. Suppose now, this guy is working in Singapore in an innovation lab. And Naresh has sold this model. He has done a digital design, and this model is sold to I think one of the European countries. And this guy is an industrial and user experience design. I develop people from from rural. Whoever comes for help, I train them. Instead of giving them fish, I gave them fishing net. So they now started fishing. So this guy is one who doesn't have a creative talent, but he wanted to work on the software for making classy surface. Now he's working with Daimler. And this guy from a very rural Varadarajanpeta, wherever I studied, one of the relatives of my old teacher. So now he built, and he is known prestigiously working with Daimler. So I'm creating whatever I could. But my aim is to develop a design school like LaSalle or an art center. The Academy should conform. And now the model is these people will do projects. They will not totally theoretical. Believe me, one of my students have done several professional projects, which is culminated in the end of the day. So with that note, I close. I'm going to prepare to talk to you for 1 hour. That's exactly 1 hour when I started. 10:40, I started at 11:41. And once again, to recap, my success in Ashok Leyland is not an easy life, but convincing people, convincing design for the benefit not only to the country, but the user of not only to the country of India, but the entire world, to create an opportunity or a business model. Don't follow those technologies already proved. Instead, Indian entrepreneurs have to start something new, which is destructive and very useful to the children or the company or the society, and successful model. For example, the Francis Gray, which I was talking about, I think his work today is huge. I think it's 15 billion or something. I have to search. I'm sorry, numbers wrong. But he's not doing it like a, Samuga Survey. He is earning huge amount of money to work for governments, corporates, and in a very ecological way. So there is a tremendous amount of business potential available, which is not tasted by us, but elsewhere, from Korea, from Sri Lanka, from Lakshadweep, and these kind of people are going to take over the Indian business model, where we are so happy with the low-hanging fruits by making hardcore tankless products like nuts, bolts, and gas chutes, and machining CNC and things like that, which is not enough. Of course, 20 years ago, it's an exciting business proposal, but today the world is changing very rapidly. Before you think of anything, there is something which is going to come in. So then second recommendation is please invest in design. Or if you encounter a young guy coming in with an idea, please don't discourage them. Maybe 100 ideas may be stupid, and one brilliant idea can turn around the world. Something like Samuel Morse. The telegram is useful for computer algorithm today in Morse code, something like that. So that's my message today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Satya. We have listened to your speeches before. I must say you never disappoint. Your perspective is always refreshing. So thank you very much for being with us on a Sunday morning. And we'll keep the floor open for question answers now. Participants, you may please unmute and ask your questions, please.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Gopi,
Yeah, please go on.
this is one question about, we are talking about design, and how
Right.
about the quality? See, the design and quality together, it should come. My opinion is that whether the quality also has been implemented through the design, and it should be ensured, whether I want to just have some explanation from Mr. Satya.
Right, 100%. See, the design also comes up with craftsmanship. That if you see the last 3 slides of this Electrolux and Adidas, it's no inferior. The craftsmanship in India is again a big concern. You know why? Because we don't celebrate our craftsmen. We discriminate special craftsmen. We never give avenues to them. So the craftsmanship is not improved much. The quality, what you say, the quality in design is not improved much because we don't give recognition to those guys who really make it. Yes. So I agree with you. So the design without perceivable aesthetic quality is useless. So when I say design, it's combined with the quality only. You perceive it that way.
Thank you, Satya, Mr. Satya. And I'm speaking from Saudi Arabia. I really appreciate Ashok Leyland now. In 2016, when I entered the Saudi Arabia, I can find only Chinese vehicle here. Now
Right.
to be proud, we can find Ashok Leyland and Tata. They are surveying in Saudi Arabia a lot for all the industries now. And I feel thankful for the design team and as well as our Indian products, which is flourishing here. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Those RAK, Russell Khema plant, the designs are from my team only. I'm also involved in it. If it is not good, I am the reason, but we were improving. It's not enough. Thank you.
That's Russell Khema is in Dubai nearby, but here
Yes,
is Saudi
yes,
Arabia.
yes.
Saudi Arabia,
No,
especially
the Saudi Arabian buses are produced in RAK and which has been sent there.
fantastic. Thank you.
That plant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy morning, Mr. Satya. This is Arun Kumar here.
Hi, Arun.
So thanks. First of all, thanks for the. I'm hearing you for the first time, but very inspiring one. I truly appreciate the work which has been done with a lot of the youngsters getting an opportunity to design and then getting placed. Thanks to you, and I wish that you continue this work much more the way you said. But I have a very basic question, right? You talked about very nicely said imitation versus innovation. A very apt word for India. But India has most populated country today. We surpassed China.
Right.
The question is, I put it in 3 parts. The first part is, does Indian schooling or the design in the very initial stages of the children, is there any the system is lacking the creative approach, right? We are more in our people are there to make numbers. They are there and they've been successful. But is there any flaw as per you? What do you feel is not adequate? I'll not use the word there is a flaw, but what is inadequate in the school curriculum, right? Which is the number one question.
Yes.
When I move from a school to a corporate, right? I'm not leaving the college. I'm putting them in the same sphere. Moving to a corporate world today, there are few companies which probably they encourage more innovation. in their R&D rather than having them, where their time to go to the market is less. They go and copy something from China or somebody from the other parts of the world. The second thought, and you proved that Ashok Leyland is different. You gave an example of Samsung, but in all other industry is one. This is a second question. What is corporate lacking in this? Is it that they're more wanting it only the cost versus what is going to be made, so then they don't invest? Is my question there. I'll put the third question also, I'll put it, and all in the same line. The third is that what is government role in this, right? Government, does it play a key role in this? Because I'll compare Israel. Israel has something called, Innovation Authority of Israel, which is the government arm, which also helps in, developing policies of the R&D for the country, R&D development of the country. So where is India's policy there? Even we heard the, budget yesterday, while our budget says that individually corporate can help them and give them some monetization there, does government play a key role? And I'm putting it in the only aspect of where is India lacking this creativity and design in these three key aspects of the country. Sorry, I may be a little longer, but
fantastic. First of all, thanks, Arun, to actually come up with a real perspective, or it's a mind-provoking question. Actually, you question as well as you answer a couple of them. Number one, you say the education. Yeah, so our education is, I don't blame the education system, but the blame is on the parents. So how we look at our children is a predictable success in their, the success and effectiveness. There are two different things, right? Electoral win can be success, but are they really producing good results? Then it isn't effective. As you said, second one is the corporate world. First of all, the school is like that because the parents are like that. I mean, when I visited one of those engineering colleges in Chennai, I don't want to name it, there is a rule where the children among men and women, like the male student and female student should not interact. Engineering college students walk in a line, and they are going like a school children or missionary, seminary, whatever, the nuns and fathers of a Christian missionary, so disciplined, walk in line. I mean, I imagine my time in Annamala University, we learned not books, not education, but the life there. The Annamala University, not just because it's an Annamala University forum, wherever I go, I'll say Annamala University gave me the confidence of, first of all, approaching IIT to apply. Otherwise, it could have been a great disaster. Those who know my personal life can actually witness it. But that confidence has been distracted by the colleges today. Why? Because the demand of parents. So unless otherwise parents are aware of design, they cannot demand. So it's a demand and supply. The education institutes are supplying what is demand. That's the first question. Second one, the Indian corporate companies are a mere minimum. And that's why their mindset has to be changed. They have a huge fear of failure every step that they work. So they always want some benchmark. And unfortunately, the most of the benchmarks are from America. I don't know how many of you can know the Nikola company, which is like Nikola is a recent scam. You can read about it, Nikola scam.
Nikola, okay.
Yeah, so they said the extremely technological advancement, it's a fraud. And there is the trend, like the EV trend is set by America, which is followed. These companies, they don't look at the market and elsewhere, they look at somebody else's pocket. Like, I have a plate full of food, but I want to order something which the neighbor is ordering.
Yeah.
That kind of mentality, corporates, my opinion. The third one is government. Yeah. So there is a design policy in India, which I was also part of it. 2011, with a lot of difficulties, we had a design policy in India. So the government the policymakers should understand the design. You are saying perfectly right. The example, you can take design districts of China and design centers, Sahahadi Design Center, design centers of Korea. These are the ones behind the successful endeavor of these countries. But then somehow the India is not realizing the importance of design because we are so focused on the outsourcing. The end-to-end solution given is what involved design. But the problem is, I'll tell you one example. There is something called ARI. It's a government organization to recognize the release of any vehicle. So if you want to make a four-wheeler, you just can't make it and run it on road. You have to go for certification. Like the government is a government organization, is ARI. But at the same time, every city, you know, we have municipal corporation. Chennai Municipal Corporation have a town bus or city bus or whatever, which is totally unregulated.
Got it.
Is there any country in the world like this? You understand what my question is?
Got it.
The Pune Municipal Corporation bus, the seating, the number of seats, the standing, the part requirement, body build, nomination, everything is in foul when it comes for the government regulation. So in this situation, when you question them, the government will not question government. But if I release it, they will show me. So this is the problem with this country. And how to build the cat, seriously, I don't know. I don't have the solution. But what I can impose is only design, taken to the parents and students. That's what I'm trying to do this academy. Thank you.
Thanks, Satya. I think I'm sure. I think you to to add your, I think while government is not doing, I'm seeing a lot of institutions have come forward, a lot of incubated, IITs and IIMs, even the other institutes have started making and encouraging the freshers to go with more innovative ideas to come up with the products. That is probably giving some more leverage there.
Yeah, so the destination, the end result is not defined. Okay, so they are mimicking the practices and the IITs. I am in board of different IITs.
Okay.
They're also quite confident them because it's like me too, right? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, Shivaraman, please go on, Shiva. Muted, Shiva.
Good morning, Satyana. Can you hear me now?
Yes, you are children.
Satyana, it was a great presentation. The change which you showed us not only in Deepika Padukone, also in your presentation model. We are still using the conventional PPTs. You made us an awareness how to give a presentation. Thanks, Na.
Right. You can see the font or kerning one over the other.
Yes, the change we could see there itself. And I have a question to you.
Yes.
See the design part, whether I don't want to use the success, the design part can be accomplished only with corporate tie-up. Is there still a challenge to do a design as an entrepreneur?
Why not? That's what I'm saying. The unmet needs are the huge opportunities in each and every bit of life. Every day there's a product which is going to come. So the design entrepreneur in India is it's a complete real estate is waiting for you. If you really want to start up a design startup.
Okay, because I always do have a feeling that a lot of research and development is required for a design part. So the dream of entrepreneurship and design is always being a challenge. So how do you fill that gap now?
No, you should have long-term aspirations. There are three things. One is the aspiration. The second one is inspiration. In between, the manipulation plays a major role in India. We have to avoid it. For example, so we easily carried forward by the manipulation. I am sorry to take the name. I don't know whether it's right or wrong. Sometimes when I see the TV ad, Vasant & Co, #1 dealer. Yenathoda #1 dealer are you? So when I walked in Vasant & Co and asked them, what is the record? What is your, which dealer? Which company? Is there any certification? Is there any number? It's manipulation. To answer your question, if you want to do entrepreneurship in design and you have an aspiration, end up with the manipulation, and then end result, it has to be inspiringly satisfying solving some problem. Every newspaper say we are #1 in India. What? How will you say that you are #1? Is there any record? So if you run a successful design, this thing, you should be careful about your aspiration and your inspiration or whatever end results, and the manipulations. The manipulations sometimes carry forward. Then you are forced to do that. So then you will say, "I'm number 2" or something like that. So if you avoid it, I always say 99 is not 100. I'll not satisfy what I'm saying. My design yesterday is ugly today. So that way. So we have to carry forward that mindset when it comes to design, when it comes to craftsmanship and things like that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Na. Thanks a lot.
Arun?
Yeah. Sir, I think Satya sir, superb. I
Yes.
think very great. Able to hear me?
Yeah, Arunji. So good.
Very great presentation, sir. I am from
Yeah.
94 E&I batch. Currently, I'm doing a financial advisory or financial planning, wealth management using technology, which is basically
Oh.
what I develop. It's like a robo advisory part.
Okay.
So design is very much related to me, my field as well, but it's all in a digital mode, right? In the app. I think the UI and UX is so very on demand, I think, and we are not able to
Yes.
get the right skill set. I think people with right skills.
Perfect. So there are a lot of manipulators. They say that they don't know UX UI, but actually they don't know.
Yeah, okay. And I think your course, I think your courses are there. I think product design, it's more focused towards automotive design, or generally it's a product design where if I say something, even I myself can.
Yeah. Your laptop, your every product that you are selling, product design.
Even the apps?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I think probably I would like to get some details about the product design first. I think I enroll myself into that first, and then probably I can take something.
Yeah. So you take my number. If you really want any detail in Saturday, Sundays, I'm running an academy, a nice place. You can come chat over coffee, please.
Sure. I will do that. Next time I'll take a number from
Yeah, Arun, I'll share the number.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah. Nice.
Can you put the location and a number of your academy on the screen or something like that, or the chat box?
Yeah, so in Chennai, if you type Aya Design Academy, it shows the location.
Okay.
It's not, I'm taking only 10 students at a year. I'm very choosy. And these students are doing professional projects. Probably I may come up with a different presentation of these designers, students have done. They have professionally launched a scooter in Auto Expo for a big OEM. They work for TVS Electronics and things like that. A lot of projects they're doing now. So, Aya Design Academy, if you type in Google Map, you'll get it. It's an apartment. I'm waiting for my retirement and fundraising to develop it as a full-fledged institute.
Satyana, the Design Academy, is it only for automobile or for all?
No, product, anything, product design, package design, graphic design, fashion design, animation design, everything.
Thanks.
We'll have one more
Yes.
detailed presentation on that, if you guys allow.
Yeah, sure, Satya. Why not?
It will help our kids to.
Many of, sorry to say, I think Ravindran is there. My batchmate Ravindran has sent at least 10 plus people of sons and daughters of our alumnus. They are all doing very well. They are rocking.
Yeah. Ravi was to join today, but I think something which came up urgent.
Yeah, Ravi, Avichi. So they send a lot of colleagues, friends, seniors, juniors, sons and daughters, and then they go to. I'll present a case study. It's very interesting once again. Right.
Pratap, go on, Pratap.
Satyana, good morning. Pratap here.
Hi, Pratap.
I run a very traditional handmade yellow panju mattress company. I think last time you asked me to contact you. But
yeah. So I due to meet you. Yeah, definitely.
So in what way I can make use of your academy to make my product packaging?
Fantastic. I mean, you come without any hesitation. Give us with win and win situation, like forget about anything. You just come down. I love it. I'll show you.
Right,
Students, that's a more the whole mission which I'm doing. The students are practicing design and a professional project.
Okay, now, this is a very simple product, single use product. So I was wondering in what way this can be improved or the design can be improved.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. We have
Solunga,
taken the keyboard of TVS Electronics to 2 notches up by just the package design.
Right. Now, I have a problem in terms of packaging. This is a bulk product. Vacuum packing or compressor panna mudiyadu. So I'm looking for a packing solution and the overall design. Mattress adu sadramata chocolate bar type ta irukum.
Right.
But in terms of design, I'll make it more appealing. How can I do it?
Happily, Pratap, take my number. Please come down. We have to meet.
And when will be the right time? Only on weekends or?
For me, after 7, I'll be there. Otherwise, Saturday, Sundays.
Saturdays and
okay, there are 5 people, brilliant designers working there full time. Nowadays, I interact very less, but for you, I'll come down. No, come down. We'll sit.
Right now, I will take your number. I will message you and I'll come down. Within this week, I will come down. Maybe tomorrow itself.
I posted in the group. You can take it.
Right, yes. Sir. Right, sir. I've taken the number.
Yes.
Anna, nalake varanna. That urgent to meet you. Maybe tomorrow evening, Anna. I'll do that.
Tomorrow evening, yeah, tomorrow evening. Please give me a call. It can be 1 or 2 days, depending.
Oh, fine. Certainly. Yeah. Ungakita solite na vandu paakren.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Avichi has just joined in. Hi, Avichi.
Hi.
Hi.
Sathya. Sorry, a bit late. Anniki Thaipusam இல்லையா அதனால கோயில்லாம் போயிட்டேன். எனக்கு என்னன்னா இப்போ நீங்க பண்றது பிளஸ் SD கோபி என்ன பண்றது ரெண்டுமே இது மிகப்பெரிய விஷயம். இது எவ்வளவு பேர் இதுல பயன்படுறாங்கன்னு தெரியல. நான் என்ன சொல்றேன்னா இதை ஒரு கண்டினியூஸ் ப்ரோக்ராமா ஏன் பண்ணக்கூடாது? இதை இப்ப நம்ம படிச்சுட்டு வர்றவங்க, ஏற்கனவே படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கிறவங்க, இவங்க எல்லாருக்குமே டிசைனை ஒரு எக்ஸ்ட்ரா கரிக்குலமா ஒரு டிசைன் பண்ணிட்டு
the Samsung fantastic idea.
ஒரு சேவை சார்ந்து அதை ஒரு ப்ராடக்டா நம்ம டெவலப் பண்ணி எடுத்து வந்தோம்னா நாளடைவுல இதையே ஒரு
yeah. Hello, Avichi, you lost.
Avichi, we lost you.
Gopi sir, என்ன சொல்றாரு? Avichi என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா, he's throwing a fantastic idea. Why can't like Samsung, how they train their senior professionals? Why can't we have a continuous crash course for those professionals, CEOs, entrepreneurs, design course?
We can. So then
I never thought of fantastic idea.
We'll design a proposal. Then you just take it forward and tell us. We'll see how to coordinate. No problem.
Right. So design thinking, user experience, we can do that. Fantastic. Market research, understanding.
Now we would like to take that course. Please start.
Problem analyzing, problem identification. Define problems. That is a different definition of problem.
I'm interested, Anna. When I was working with Covestro, I'm in sales and marketing, so they taught me something called SPIN. That is situation, problem, intrinsic need, and need payoff.
Exactly.
How do you question them and arrive at identifying the problem which the customer may
It starts from why. Correct. So we can really have a really professional, not beating around the bush, no waste of time, and we make it very interesting.
I'm interested in this.
Yeah, we'll do that. Super.
We'll design a small proposal, Sathya.
Yeah.
We'll see how to take it forward.
So the Avichi finally gave us a fantastic idea. Very nice.
Yeah. Thanks, Avichi, for the good suggestion.
Thank you. I think we are done.
Yeah, most of it is done. Anyone else has a question?
Satya sir, good afternoon. This is Babu from Hosur. சார் நீங்க அசோக் லைன்ல ஒர்க் பண்றீங்க, உங்க ஸ்கூல்ல இது இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்றதுக்கு ஏதாவது ட்ரை பண்றீங்களா சார்? எனி விஷன் யூ ஆர் ஹேவிங்?
CSR school நாங்க CSR பண்றோம் அந்த ஸ்கூல்ஸ்லயா?
No, Ashok Leyland having separate school itself. In the campus.
No, Hosur we have a school. Right.
any idea you are having to implement your thoughts in that school?
Honestly, நான் அந்த ஐடியாவிலே நான் யோசிக்கல, but it's a good idea. We'll try to implement it. I never thought of. No, sometimes you guys throw in from other perspective, which is really helpful. I'll ask them. There is a school run by Ashok Leyland.
Yes, sir. Most of us, we are willing to join here itself because it's so distance for us to Chennai and all.
Yes. No, we'll organize. I missed your name. Sorry.
Gopinath. Gopinath is from the 2003 batch, Satya.
Acha, you are working with Ashok Leyland only?
No, my daughter is there. My daughter is studying there.
சரி கண்டிப்பா பண்ணிடலாம். Gopi.
Right.
Super.
Right. Thank you.
Good suggestion. Thank you.
Sanjay, any questions, Sanjay?
No, thanks, Gopi sir. Very excellent session. So no doubts. Thank you.
Thank you. So nice of you.
Right, Satya. Right, Satya. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. Arivaraja, please go on, Arivaraja. You have a question?
Arivu?
Sir, அண்ணா வணக்கங்கண்ணா. அட்டகாசமா அசத்திட்டீங்க, அருமையா இருந்துச்சு. அது ஒரு ட்ரெடிஷனலா ஒரு டச்சிங்காவும் இருந்துச்சு. ஸோ அந்த பில்டிங்ஸ் எப்படி இது பண்ணினாங்க எல்லாம் நீங்க நல்லா அருமையா எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுனீங்க. ஆப்பிரிக்காவில் எப்படி பண்ணாங்க, இதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு வெறும் இதை களிமண்ணை வச்சே பண்ணாங்க, அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப அருமையா இருந்துச்சு. ஆக்சுவலா வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இப்ப என்னுடைய பிரதர் அந்த பொண்ணு வந்து அவ 5th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் படிச்சிட்டு இருக்கா. அவ இந்த கிராஃப்ட் ஒர்க், இந்த டிசைன் பண்ணதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப இன்ட்ரெஸ்டடா இருக்கா. பட் வந்து அவங்க எல்லாம் வந்து பெருங்குடியில இருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ அவங்க வந்து கத்துக்கணும்னு ஆசைப்படுறாங்க. ஸோ அவங்களுக்கு என்ன மாதிரி சஜஸ்ட் பண்றீங்க? இதே மாதிரி பாத்தீங்கன்னா நிறைய பேர் இப்ப புதுல இருந்து சார் பேசினாரு பாருங்க, அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய பேர் கத்துக்கிறதுக்கு ஆர்வமா இருக்காங்க. அவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் எப்படி கத்துக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கறது ஒரு ஐடியா கொடுங்க. இது ஒண்ணு. இது ஒண்ணு. ரெண்டாவது வந்துட்டு இப்போ கவர்மெண்ட் கோர்சஸ், கவர்மெண்ட் காலேஜஸ்ல வந்துட்டு எதுவும் வந்து டிசைனுக்கு வந்து இது வச்சிருக்கிறாங்களா எனக்கு தெரியல. ஸோ ஃபியூச்சர் எப்படி இருக்குது கவர்மெண்ட் சைட்ல அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு ஐடியா உங்கள்கிட்ட கேட்கலாம்.
சரி. The government is recognizes design. Almost எல்லா ஐஐடிலயும் பேச்சுலர் ஆஃப் டிசைனே வந்துட்டு இருக்கு. In fact, the bachelor of design BDS people are heavily placed this year. நிறைய பிளேஸ்மெண்ட்ல நல்லா வந்துட்டு இருக்குது. But the problem is இந்தியாவுல வந்து 62,000 டிசைனர்ஸ்க்கு தேவைப்படுது. பட் ஆனா 7,000 qualified designers தான் இருக்கிறாங்க. As I was telling the benefit is the roadside animation நிறைய பேர் சின்ன ஃபார்ம்லாம் தனியார் இதெல்லாம் வச்சுக்கிட்டு நாங்க வந்து இந்த ஃபில்ம் அனிமேஷன், போட்டோஷாப் இதை வச்சுட்டு அவங்களும் இந்த டிசைன் சர்டிஃபிகேட் கொடுக்குறாங்க. That is a problem. But otherwise the design is the future. Well established design schools are there. இதெல்லாம் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணோம்னா வீக்கெண்ட்ஸ்ல we are running courses for school children. You be in touch with me, Arivu. You have my number. I will. Yes.
Anna Satyana, Pratap again, ஒரு basic question. We come across a lot of people, they say like we are designers, we will do the packaging redesign for you. Idu pandrom adu pandrom. How to identify a quality designer or a firm who can really meet our needs? Na adukku edavadhu basic idu irukudha?
No, look at the portfolio. Number one, இப்ப அந்த சாஃப்ட்வேர் கத்துக்கிறவங்க எல்லாம் டிசைனர்ஸ் சர்டிஃபிகேட் கொடுக்குறாங்க, but they are not. But the framework of design க்கு வந்து ஒரு couple of questions. உங்க composition எப்படி பண்றீங்க அப்படின்னு கேளுங்க, அவங்க தெரிஞ்சிடும். There are it's very easy today, but the problem is நம்ம ஊர்ல வந்து எல்லாருமே வந்து the low hanging fruit hunters. குச்சாணி கொம்புல ஏறி ஒரு பழம் பறிக்கிறத விட சும்மா அப்படி தாவி பறிச்சுட்டு அதுதான் அந்த திருவிழாடல வர்ற ஞானப்பழம்னு சொல்லி நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. அதுக்கு ஒண்ணும் இல்லை. நீங்க வந்துட்டு ஒரு சின்ன டெக்னிக்கலா நீங்க சும்மா யூடியூப்ல போயிட்டு ஃப்ரேம் ஒர்க் ஆஃப் டிசைன் டைப் பண்ணீங்கன்னா ஒரு 2-3 டெர்மினாலஜிஸ் வரும். அதுல ஒண்ணு கேட்டீங்கன்னா அது யாரும் சொல்லி தர்றது இல்லை, அது யாருக்கும் தெரியாது. ஒரு இப்ப நீங்க ஒண்ணும் இல்ல, இந்த டிவி இருக்குல்ல, டிவி வந்து நீங்க டயகனலா இருக்குல்ல, டிவி வந்து 12 inch 32 inch டிவினா ஏன் ஸ்கொயரா இல்ல, அந்த காம்போசிஷன் என்னன்னு கேளுங்க, தெரிஞ்சிடும்.
ஓகே, நான் ரைட்.
இந்த ரேஷியோ இருக்குல்ல, அது கோல்டன் ரேஷியோன்னு பேரு.
கோல்டன் ரேஷியோ கரெக்ட்னா.
சோ அதனால இந்த கோல்டன் ரேஷியோ தான் நமக்கு அது ஒரு பெரிய லிட்ரேச்சர், அது ஃப்ரேம் ஒர்க் ஆஃப் டிசைன்ல. சோ ஏன்பா அது ஸ்கொயரா இல்ல ரவுண்டா இல்லன்னு கேட்டீங்கனாலே சொல்லிடுவாங்க பசங்க.
Got it now.
It's a tough job. It's a very tough job. That is the reason why they are surviving. Right. Super.
Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks for the warm
you were about to say something, Vichu?
Yeah, I don't know how many people. This is only seminar in which my wife sat through because she's artistic in nature.
Oh, wow! Thank you. Thank you so much.
That she really appreciated. I am the engineering side of it.
Right.
One question I want to ask is because I practice structural design to a large extent.
Right.
So when you do the design, when you do the design, I mean, do you at what point does the structural design you incorporate, or the feasibility rather? What I'm saying is you design your products, and then whether it can structurally sustain. In India, you also have to idiot proof because our people are terrible at handling.
Foolproof. Foolproof design is one aspect. Correct. You're right. See, sir, I missed your name. Sorry.
Vishwanath, 82 batch.
82.
So there are two phases in design.
Yeah.
One is divergence phase.
Okay.
The second one is convergence phase.
Okay.
In the divergence phase, you be a fool. I mean, you be a innocent to the hardcore innocent fellow. You understand solutions, right?
Yeah.
And you propose hundreds of them.
Okay.
And as a design head, I have my trial and error experience in my past. No, I know my mistakes. The lessons learned from the mistakes, right? In terms of structure, feasibility, productionability, reachability, the weldability, assemblability, all these things, no? So the young people dominate the divergent phase. They will innocently throw ideas.
Okay.
The seniority, like I am a head of design, I will tell the feasible, possible ideas. That is a convergent phase. There also you'll have three alternate. Test it and validate. There is no first time right in design.
Do you use 3D printing a lot in your thing?
Oh, that's a good question. 3D printing, yes, we use, but in the last stage, but we use clay model, which is very flexible. Anytime you can change the design.
Okay. Okay.
And once the design is frozen, then only you do 3D printing.
Okay. So no, I'm asking, I mean, isn't it easy to make the mold and other things with 3D printing? And then, I mean, I'm just...
it's a very cumbersome material because if you want to do a design change of a failure of a CAE, then you can't do a reprint, no?
Okay.
There is something called flexible clay model. The Chinese
clay model.
So we have clay models. Anytime you can change design, even after 1 year.
Is there an age
mode analysis will go for iterations. So the failure mode analysis will encounter a lot of changes in the design phase. That phase will be taken care by clay model. Once everything is done, to visualize to the super management or present to the stakeholders, you do 3D print.
One concept I just wanted to think, I mean, since you are running an academy, I mean, full time where people come up, why don't you have a kind of a design validation process or something like that, where people can come up with a design, they come to you, you validate that for a charge, means, let's say an hourly, see that if you have a model like that, then we can open it to many people who have a lot of ideas, but they don't know where to get it validated. It's some maybe
exactly. I think that's a very good idea you are throwing. I mean, this person has said some of the thoughts I never thought of. Like, for example, you have a lot of CEOs, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people running here. They have projects. You don't even know that there can be design or solutions available at reach. So it can be a good idea, sir.
See, for example, they can't definitely not afford a person like you full time. Definitely not. Even one of your students, they'll be wondering whether this student, if I take him, he'll be twiddling thumbs and doing what. I mean, so they can come to you with a basic idea or a design. And you can charge them for validation. Okay, man, this is per hour 10,000 rupees. Okay, that's it. So that way, it's a win-win situation. So people can share, no?
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay. Yeah. In fact, if you have allow me as the time is that we have done two different similar projects. One is the prawn mother, the prawn culture. No, the Eral Pannaila வந்து தீவனம் போடுற machine வந்து export பண்ணும்போது there was a problem. So we went and then validate and then given some solution.
Okay.
There's another guy who's having a printing machine, the Colgate, the package printing machine he's making in Chennai and sending it to London. When it export, they said it's not, the design is not good or whatever. The minimum allowable aesthetic quality is not there. Then our students went and solved. So there are a lot of things.
Okay.
With a lot of friends like that, we can do that. Yes, wonderful idea. I have noted down 3 points here. One is the Ashok Leyland workshop, Ashok Leyland School workshop. Second one is the professionals course correction design workshop. The third one is the design validation consultation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Satya. Thank you once
Okay,
again.
sir. Thank you so much. Wonderful session.
And I should also thank Avishi for the support in coordinating with you to get you here as a speaker second time.
Oh,
Look forward to your support, Satya.
Anytime. Thank you so much. It's my home. Thank you so
very much. Take care.
Bye.